Dad to dad, I was watching Cars 3 with the kid this week, and I was just like, see a lot of similarity, a lot of guys I know here. Knowing that you guys got the two right now, I'm sure you've been watching a lot of Disney Plus too. What's one movie when you guys watch it, you're like, yeah, I could lock in and watch this with you. Let's watch it.
Right now for me, it's Toy Story. She's obsessed with that one, but they have I think 4 of them now. So everyone we watch, it's like, I haven't seen this one. Or yeah, I wasn't a big Disney kid, movie as a kid, so it's cool to now watch him and be like, oh wow, okay, that was that movie.
I'm sure when you watch them too as an adult for the 7th or 8th time in a week, you're just like, I picked up on this part now too.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. It's crazy. The kids love, they could watch, like I said, Toy Story, her one right now, she could watch on repeat. We try to limit screen time, but you know how it is. You got to give in sometimes.
All right, Coop, bringing them everywhere. They're at the truck. They're around all the time. How is it? How is it to just, we've talked about this a ton, but to check out what you do on the bike and out here is one thing, and then when you go back to the rig, it's a whole other thing.
It is. It's a good balance, right? It's not easy by any means. It's a lot of work, as we know, to even be a father and not alone that, but to do this sport. But for me, my attitude is hey, I want to be able to try to travel with them and make these core memories because, yes, this is my life right now. I don't want to put my family on the back burner. I'd like to be able to do both, and I feel like right this second we're doing a pretty good job of that.
When they don't come to the races, does it bum you out? Do you go through that homesick period on that first 24 hours of the weekend, or is that not a big deal, or is that just me?
A little bit, because like you said, you kind of got a routine, and that is my routine now, so it is a little different when they're not there. But with that being said, when you're on, whether they're there or not, once it's race time, you kind of lock in, and but it does feel good when if you do have a good night or win or get on the podium and your kids are there. It makes it feel more special than when they're not, by far.
When we were at the Anaheim press days a couple months ago, you were saying some stuff about how you want to live your life to the best way to give them something to aspire to. And then on my way to Anaheim 1 for the race that weekend, I had some deep thoughts of myself where I was like, man, all I can do as a dad is hope to give my kid what my family gave me. So as you guys are going through it, how fun is it to see what you could give your girls?
It is, man. Like you said, it's we've all had our childhoods, and you want to try to do things different, right? As a father or growing as a person. So for me, yeah, obviously I feel like I'm jealous of their life right now, right? They get to travel the world and be with their dad and really experience life how it should be, right? And I'm super blessed to be able to do that and give them that, and hopefully I can inspire them to be the best versions of themselves like they see Dad trying to do.
Okay, last thing. Do you remember the first time you gave Indy a ride on the motorcycle?
I do, actually. It was, the goat farm, man, and she lit up, and now she has her own Yamaha four-wheeler, our Yamaha 110 we ride in the yard, and she's all about it. She loves it.
Is it momos? Is it motorcycles? What is she called?
Dirt bike.
Okay.
Dirt bike.
Very practical. Thank you, Cooper.
And quad.
I just had a really good conversation with Cooper about being a dad, so I'm going to do the same thing with you. Does that sound good? All right. As I said to him, I've probably watched Cars 3 for the 75th time this week. So I saw, I can identify where that guy's at in his stage of his life. And that guy knows, oh my God, there's him too. What movie is the kids watching that you've watched God knows how many times? You're like, yeah, I can sit down and watch this again.
Man, there's a few. Honestly, it's not even necessarily movies at the moment. So there's this YouTube channel called Kids to Kids. It's monster truck based, Monster Jam, and honestly, I think the number that we're at for toy monster trucks is 103 or something stupid. Giving a lot of my money to Monster Jam. So we watch Kids to Kids a lot, and then Rubble and Crew. But Kids to Kids, I tell you what, I would prefer to never see that ever again for the rest of my life. I don't wish anything bad upon them, but if they got their YouTube pulled, I wouldn't be upset. It's just like the dad and the kid play with toys for 4 hours each episode, and we've seen every episode at this point, and it's just, I don't know, there's just something about them that I just
Is it frustration that you're not kicking it for 4 hours, just laying on the floor crushing cars?
No, I don't necessarily think that. I don't know. Some of the stuff he picks up on too, I'm just like, let's watch something, he does like watching Supercross. So that's cool, but I don't know, I've had too much Kids to Kids. I just want to switch it up. Let's watch some Despicable Me, Let's change it.
Yo, I am cried out to Bluey. I'll just tell you that. I've watched enough Bluey and cried to enough Bluey lately. I am good for a couple months.
We went on the Bluey streak where it was like for a year straight, the only thing we watched was Bluey, and I know everything about Bluey, and that's okay. But then we got a break from it. And now it's almost like you kind of miss those days. It's like, man, I kind of wish that I was just raging at the TV ready to turn Bluey off.
Okay, when you're playing with the guy, what's he playing with? Like, are you crushing monster trucks? Are you teaching him how to make a real track? Are you calling the Feld crew to like, hey, why aren't we using cars anymore? Why is it all dirt?
Man, we play with a lot of things. Dirt bikes and monster trucks are like the two things that we're big about, especially at home, which we're about to go back to next week. I built like this sandbox for inside, and we got kinetic sand. We've got like 50 bags of kinetic sand in this sandbox, and I'm a kid, right? Like, I'm a grown-up, but I'm really a kid. So there's nothing better than getting down and building a Supercross track out of the kinetic sand. Form's good. Holds up. You get ruts. So sometimes we'll switch it up and we'll throw in like a monster truck stadium in there, but
get some hard pack going.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do all day, every day. He's riding now on a little 50, so like come to the track. When it's time to leave, he's upset, he's yelling, he's crying. So
what kind of 50 are we on?
Husky EE2, I think is what it is. It's like a P-Dub, but it's an electric bike, which is nice. Don't have to deal with the gas. Like, you literally don't do anything. You just charge the battery and let her go.
I asked Cooper this. Do you remember the first time you gave him a ride on your motorcycle?
I don't know about like the first. It would have been at my house in Missouri, just like back from the track, which he does love. Last weekend, I had stopped right outside the tunnel, just as we got into the pits, and they were walking by, and I was talking to somebody, and I gave him a ride back to the truck, and he was just psyched about it, just loves it. So first time, I mean, he'd have been like one, maybe not even, just old enough to be able to barely hang on to the bike at my house.
Happiest day of my life when it happened. It was a good one.
It's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling. Okay, to kind of get back to what all of that was, when you talked about him watching the races and stuff like that, how it's to watch it with him? Like, does he ask you questions because kids ask a million questions, or is he just focused?
I mean, he's pretty dialed in. He does, like, it's kind of crazy. He'll point out, like, if he sees me at all in the background or anything, he'll point it out really quick. Daddy, it's you. The funny thing is now, like, at the races, as I'm getting ready to go up, give him a hug and kiss, give wife a hug and kiss, and he every single time now this year is, Daddy, please try to win for me. And I'm like, I'm going to try my best. And Haley said after last weekend they were walking back, and he looked at her after the main and was like, Daddy didn't win. And I told her, I was like, we're going to just have to break the news somehow to him that, you're probably going to have to get used to that. I'm trying. It's not like I'm not trying.
Start stacking LCQs up. He doesn't know the difference.
See, I want to be in as little LCQs as possible is the thing.
Yes, but be the hero in his eyes. He does not know the difference.
Man, I don't know.
Okay. I'll wrap it up with this because I asked Coop this question. The first 24 hours that you're gone from them to come out, is it hard? Like, is it hard when you get away from home and you're just like, yeah, I got to go do it again? Or have you done it so long now that when they're not there, it's not a big deal?
It's just weird. I don't like it. It's very rare at this point that I'm away from them, just because like they've been in California with me the whole off season this year. So the first 4 races we've been driving to, so they've been at. So next weekend it's just gonna be Haley and I going to the race. So I don't know. Even if like we go on date night, it's like I'm 30 minutes in and I'm like, I really miss Luca. It's like, I don't know. It's just like those, I don't hang out with anyone. I hang out with my family. Like, that's it. So it's weird when I'm not. I don't love it at the races if I'm by myself. That's for sure.
Thanks, Benny.
Thanks.
All right, dad to dad. You're going to be number 3. What's the Disney or kid movie or kid TV show that you guys just have on repeat with the guy right now?
Jeez. I don't know, dude. I haven't been home in 3 weeks, so I don't know what's going on back home. He's probably a grown man now. So
shout out to Amber for holding it down and being pregnant.
Extra pregnant and watching a 2-year-old is intense work. She's feeling it. She's ready for me to come home, I'm sure. But probably Nemo, man. We watch Nemo a lot. Nemo's pretty good, pretty chill. A couple scary parts for the kid, but he's all right.
I was just telling him I watched Cars 3 again
Cars,
this week.
yeah, Cars, big time Cars. Anything Cars, monster trucks. Yep.
But through Cars 3 this week, I was like, ooh, I can see a lot of identification between guys that I know in this point in their career
cool.
right now. And I'm like, wow.
That's
yeah,
cool.
It's cool. As I was asking everybody, like bringing him to the races and just being at that stage in your life, and you have the motorhome and you have all this stuff going on, how is it to have him here to see this part of your life?
It's amazing because these last couple weeks he hasn't been here, and it's been extremely boring. Not a lot going on. So when you have your kids at the races, it's a lot more fun. It keeps your mind less busy thinking about racing, and you just enjoy having your family around. So I enjoy it, man. I think it's a great thing to have your family around, and your kids running around, and have the motorhome at the races, and it's just very enjoyable.
Knowing how you are, like super focused on your diet, really like good food, all that stuff, do you get a kick out of cooking for him and showing him all these different things that are out there? Or is he a pretty picky eater?
He eats everything, so it's great. So yeah, Amber's a really good cook, so she cooks a lot, and I'm the kind of the breakfast guy, so I cook the breakfast, which is easy, and the boy loves some pancakes, that's for sure.
Okay, number 2 is coming.
Yeah.
Feel different than the first?
It's went by really fast. I think when you have a kid and just you're so busy and stuff, and then in racing season as well, you don't really think about it, and then next thing you know, it's about to be here. So it's definitely a different feeling, but a good feeling, exciting feeling. Here in a couple weeks now, he'll be here, so it's pretty cool.
Have fun, Bam.
Thanks, brother.